See my corkscrew? Oh, it's right over here. Okay. Okay. All ready to go. All ready to go. All ready to go. Okay. How about that win by the loser Phoenix Suns tonight? They destroyed the Cleveland Cavaliers. The loser Phoenix Suns have won 4 straight games. The loser Phoenix Suns destroyed the Cavaliers. The Griz, the Clippers and the Kings only won by narrow margins. The loser Phoenix Suns have won by big margins. This is a team that is not going to sell itself out of competing for a championship. This team is going to face off against the Thunder. Whether it be losing in 5 or 6 games, it doesn't matter. They should show some fight against the Thunder, and it's about laying the foundation for the offseason and for when GOAT King LeBron James is going to inevitably retire, and Stephen Curry is old and washed up, and Kevin Durant is still balling. This is what it counts for Devin Booker and Kevin Durant in the Phoenix Suns. So, again, when you're in the play-in, you're going to beat Sacramento. I can see revenge against the Timberwolves. So, again, Kevin Durant heads back to Oklahoma City. He loses. The haters say, he's the man to trade to Oklahoma City. But there's no talk of trading Kevin Durant. It's only BS from national media. They completely... it came right out of their ass, right? It came without any sources. So bottom line is give Coach Bud a chance, and this team's going to lay the foundation. I believe Budenholzer is the right guy for the job, and I do believe 2028, the loser Phoenix Suns are going to be your champions. Now, the range for the Clippers and the Suns is 27 and 28. So could it be Suns in 27, Clippers 2028? Possibly. But from my standpoint, is the Clippers are going to win first in the new arena, and they're going to say Kevin Durant's never going to win. It's the Clippers' revenge against the Suns for the conference final because there was no Kawhi. So when the Clippers play the Suns a couple of years, Clippers going to beat the Suns. But then those are Phoenix Suns, get some revenge, 2028. Cavs are cooked. The East is weak this year. So what am I saying? Basically, there's no team that can challenge the Cavs and the Celtics. There's no real number 3 team. Even if the Cavs struggle, the Bucks are not beating them. They're not beating the Celtics. The Knicks have done terrible against teams 500 above. So there's no real number 3 team that can challenge the Cavs and the Celtics. It still is going to be the Cavs and the Celtics, and the Cavs have struggled, and the Celtics are simply going to show up come playoff time. So give me Cavs in 6 over the Celtics. Screw that game 7. I think the Celtics are going to be playing game 1, the finals, 5 days later. And excuse me, it's so hot. You got to turn down the AC. I don't know why it keeps turning down the AC. Let's turn up the AC. What's the unit set? Oh, it's at 70. It's going to go down to 72. Okay. This is how you know summer's coming. But enough with the loser Phoenix Suns. Again, the NBA's in dire need of ratings, and Kevin Durant at Oklahoma City is just a really great storyline. So Suns have no chance of beating the Thunder, but Kevin Durant's going to head back to Oklahoma City. That's what the script writers have planned for. Go demand the trade to Oklahoma City. So the haters are going to mock Kevin Durant after the game. This ends loser Phoenix Suns talking. They're not losers this week for sure. They're playing like the team that started 8-1. They're still a loser bum franchise. They ain't doing nothing besides qualifying for the playoffs. That's the only thing they're winning is the play-in tournament. And now on to the real team. and cover up that garbage ass orange. We ain't got enough of that orange. They are the enemy when Luka plays them next year. When Goki LeBron, Kevin Durant, Luka against his son Devin Booker. And Kobe says he hates the Suns more than any team because they're the team that beat him 3 times or 2 times in the playoffs to prevent Kobe from winning a championship. So this is the team that Kobe hates more than all the others. It's the loser Phoenix Suns. And he did get revenge against them in 2010. Don't remind me anymore about that series in 2010. I was like, damn, we never won the championship. Right after we lost against the Lakers, series tied 2-2, and then of course Kobe and these guys, they won Game 5 and they won Game 6. The NBA rigged it for the Lakers Celtics in 2010. This was 2010, so same things happening. Thunder and Cavs, but both Thunder and Cavs sell and lose the conference finals. So they're at the end of the day, they're both going to sell at the end of the day. They're all company men. Some guys do care about winning the championship, but these guys care more about future earnings. These guys never say, "Oh, I'm happy with 10 million." They're always demand even more. They're going to demand 100 million. I mean, they're greedy too. Why would they not be greedy if their earnings have doubled or even they probably have tripled since 2010? So don't kid yourselves. It is about money. The Lakers Celtics would generate more money if you're Darius Garland, who wants a new contract, or Donovan Mitchell's going to want a bigger contract, I imagine. So Lakers Celtics going to help these guys get a new contract. That's how it's rigged at the end of the day. It's not about just the ratings, but it's also the future earnings for these players that comes with doing what's in the league's best interest as far as distributing the pie. The videos that are coming out, Lakers Thunder, Celtics, Cavs, NBA Red, Celtics, Lakers, and the hating bums who say NBA is real, they're like, when the Cavs play the Thunder, you don't be saying the NBA is red. So, yeah, YouTube's going to be bombed late May when, Lakers are up against the Thunder and the Cavs are against the Celtics. I'm just monitoring a game. I put a live bet for under 2.5 goals. It's women's soccer. It's 88th minute. It's 1-0. Pretty much, they're not going to score 2 goals. Okay, I'm just monitoring that. We'll get into March Madness. Let's start with Lakers. Then I will reveal some thoughts about March Madness. So again, these results today have afforded Goki LeBron a little extra time to rest. Apparently, I guess Jokic didn't play again for the Nuggets, and they were losing big against the Trailblazers. The Portland Trailblazers won. If that was even odds, roughly, I guess Jamal Murray didn't play either. I decided not to play around with that game, and I did have North Carolina. They lost. I had Creighton. They won. Xavier over Texas. I had Arkansas over Kansas. Show the SEC some love. I just kind of went with North Carolina because they had a really big win. It's still UNC, but I guess the ACC really is down. But I don't give a damn. I'll still take Duke, but there are questions surrounding the ACC and Duke. Well, what else? Okay, Michigan. That was like a 1 or 2 point game, spread wise, and it appeared easy, but I guess the other team came back. But again, March Madness is fugazi. It's rigged for the ratings. Oklahoma got back into it. Eyeballs were glued to the TV. Watching San Diego, one of those games had to end a close game yesterday. New Mexico upset, another upset that had happened. There had to be a couple upsets. So a couple of these dogs have been winning. So, of course, the main question will be is anything automatic with Duke? Is anything automatic with Auburn? Is anything automatic with Florida? You got your 50-50s, you got your potential Arizona, excuse me, your potential Kentucky Vanderbilt, Kentucky Tennessee's round of 16 be a pretty bomb matchup, but I think Tennessee are just better than Kentucky. Rick Pitino and John Calipari know each other, so I still like St. John's to win, but it will not surprise me to see Arkansas put together a very close game against St. John's because, again, Calipari, Rick Pitino, must watch TV. So that game, I think I'll do St. John's money line and then do the spread. I think, be safe with the money line, and just in case if the money line ends up being a March Madness, the underdog point spread's your friend. It makes it a really enjoyable game because Arkansas was +5 and they didn't have to win, but they weren't going to lose by more than 5 points. It's Arizona and Oregon. That's the 50-50. I just think Michigan's record in close games, Michigan against, who do they play, A&M or Texas Tech? I think it's Texas Tech. By the way, during these 30-minute, 45-hour live recordings, I may need some timestamps just to know what I'm talking about at certain points of a live stream. I may need to keep track of timestamps, so that's something I think I can do better with the live streams because just life commitments takes time, and you got to have timestamps for that. Okay, it's Texas A&M. Okay, okay. They beat Baylor. Okay, I just think Michigan's record in close games. You got to take Michigan. They won the Big 12 tournament. The SEC is the strongest conference in college basketball. But to be the best, you got to be the champion. I guess this NIL stuff has kind of shifted the transfer of power from the Big East in the ACC over to the SEC. So, is it Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York guys that these SEC schools are winning over these Big East and ACC schools? I presume that's what's happening, I guess. Okay, so dumb, deluded right wingers laughing at stupid, uninformed people. It is facts like Trump's name is mentioned the Epstein report 64 times. They go off. I mean, they're pedophiles in both parties. Let's face it. Okay, enough of this crap about politics. Okay, continuing on. What do we got? Okay, I like Michigan. The close records in these games. Just when in doubt, upperclassmen. And I think as a team played many close games. And I think UConn has only trailed for 17 seconds across the last 3 years in the tournament, including this year. They trailed 17 against Connecticut. So if Connecticut is down by 5, 7 points, they could be in trouble against Florida. So we'll see if McNeese State has the upset in the cards. I think I would look at the gematria of who they play in the Sweet 16. McNeese is gematria of 28. McNeese State is 69. They scored 69 points against Clemson. Who would they play if they win? It appeared Northern Iowa or James Madison last year was going to be the team, but then I think I did have him against Wisconsin. Okay, they lost to Duke. James Madison, will there be some small school that's going to make it to the upset City 1 in gematria? Number 8 against number 1. I mean, Florida over UConn's not an upset, but UConn are the 2-time consecutive winners of college basketball. So UConn are losing. Gonzaga really good, so that one could be very interesting. But I just think Houston's on a whole other level. So, but I got to go Houston in that one. We'll see if UCLA can be a so-called. You have a potential blue matchup of UCLA and Kentucky, but again, the strength of the SEC showed itself when Arkansas beat Kansas, traditional blue blood school. Your Arkansas defeated Kentucky or Kansas, blue blood school. I know Kansas weren't as good this year, but it's still Kansas. You have good recruits. So Kansas lost to SEC. The other team, North Carolina, Big 12, ACC. So split it across two conferences. I think SEC's got to get over the Big 10. So I think you West Coast guys are soft. So I got to go Tennessee over UCLA. Oregon's a home team at Seattle. It just depends on who you like. Oregon against Duke or Arizona against Duke. You see, as far as the 33rd appearance in the finals and Bryce James, joining Arizona, it's Tim Lloyd could fall to 3-3 in the tournament with Arizona. Should Arizona lose, it's a home game at Oregon. Arizona Duke is Arizona Duke. I mean, Arizona struggled against Oregon during their days in the. Now, I went to the very last game that Arizona played in the Pac-12 before the conference tournament. The last ever game at McHale. I attended Arizona, Oregon, the last Pac-12 game at Tucson at McHale Center for the Wildcats. And they blew Oregon out of the water. So I just think the hype would be amazing if Bryce James joins Arizona, and respectfully, you lose to a Duke team that is probably, I think, the best team in the country. I know the SEC is really good, but Duke keeps on winning, and they keep on winning without Cooper Flag. And quite frankly, he didn't have to play in the first round. They would have won that game and give that guy some extra rest. And Duke is going to beat Zona if Zona plays Duke. That's a rematch of the year that Arizona last made it to the Final Four, 2002. They lost to Duke in the title game, 2002. That's probably why my grandfather didn't like Duke a lot. But I know Duke were hated a lot in the 1990s. What else we got? So again, I like St. John's, but that game could be close. It is March Madness after all. These two coaches are very familiar with each other. Could we see a comeback for as the Red storm back to win the game? You think of Red Storm, you think they're going to storm back and win this basketball game. And this is what I think about when I think about the name Red Storm. Who knows if Drake wins? Who knows if they do? You see, I knew BYU and Wisconsin were going to face off. All the white guys match up. Whiskey and all their white guys, Wisconsin and all these bunch of white Mormons on BYU. Is this going to be a low-scoring game? I'd probably go under on that one. I don't know. BYU, Wisconsin, this game's going to be very close. This team has a bunch of white guys on both teams, and these teams are shooting teams, so they match up very, very well. Creighton shoot the ball well from 3-point, so I know Auburn are one of the top 5 in the nation, but Creighton shoot the ball well. It depends on how well Auburn defends the 3-point. Creighton don't make it easy on anybody. Who faces who? The winner of BYU, Wisconsin. These games are now. New Mexico got a pretty damn good team, and they play in a tough environment called the Pit. Could New Mexico put Michigan State on upset alert? I think that game can be an upset alert. New Mexico's this West Coast team they don't know about, but they won over 25 games. They play in a semi-major conference. I wouldn't write off New Mexico against Michigan State. Well, I got to wake up at 9 o'clock for that game. UConn are going to lose against Florida. I wonder what the opening line is in that game. UConn, they go after the ball really good defensively, but Florida's just on a whole other level. And that game's very interesting because Florida was the last team to win the repeat before UConn did it. So these tournaments, the NCAA tournament is scripted when they decide who plays who, because they scripted Rick Pitino against John Calipari. They could script the Tennessee against Kentucky. Oregon Duke, Arizona Duke is good either way, to be honest. Though I'm like curious because I'm like, okay, I think if UConn has never really, I don't think they've trailed for even a minute during the NCAA tournament in the last 3 years, including this March. So that's the opening line. I don't think UConn can come back if they're trailing. They haven't played many minutes trailing during these past 2+ years. All right, I click on schedule and I go, March 23rd, that's Sunday, right? I keep on thinking today's the 20th. Okay, they're showing NIT games. Okay, that's why I see a bunch of. Hey, San Francisco's interesting. I mean, that's Bill Russell's team. I like how one big money line bet I took didn't even lose this March. I decided to skip on the Clemson McNeese State. I'm skipping that, and good thing I did. It's all about perception. I just went with North Carolina having the red hot game, and Ole Miss was like 21-10, and I'm just like, okay, North Carolina, they're North Carolina, right? Oopsie. The SEC's pretty damn good conference. That's what happened against North Carolina. Now, Arizona, 4.5-point favorite, but these two teams, we know each other. If Oregon has a lot of upperclassmen, this could be a very, very tight game. This means they're very familiar with Arizona. We'll see about that Oregon, Arizona. St. Mary's is always a really good program out west. Oh, UConn are a big underdog. This game ain't even close. I think Connecticut's biggest lead was 10 points, and against Oklahoma, and if Florida's 9.5, they may win by 10. Yeah, you know what's interesting is, okay, his son coaches New Mexico, Rick Pitino's son, right? I'll be talking about the Lakers very soon, but this March Madness stuff is interesting, people. No, young Rick Pitino. I could have sworn they said Pitino. Oh, New Mexico State, New Mexico. Okay, New Mexico. Is it possible for Rick Pitino to face off with his son? He kind of looks like his dad too. Where's the bracket at? Where is it? Is it possible for St. John's to play New Mexico? Are they scripting something? Where is it? Okay, there's St. John's. Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, wait. I need a printable bracket. When anyone says March Madness is rigged, it's $1 billion industry. These guys from Clemson laid down. It was 31-13. Michigan was destroying San Diego, and then suddenly it's a close game. Oklahoma sucks, but then UConn was up by 10, but suddenly Oklahoma's up by 1 point, 2 point. It's all fugazi. The biggest thing that shows March Madness is rigged is all these retarded turnovers these little kids like to commit. And for the record, I hit a 16 parlay. What was the teams in the parlay? It was UConn money line. It was Creighton. It was 4 games from the first day or the play-in. So Xavier was 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oregon, and then there are 2 other ones. Let me go to schedule. I'm an Arizona fan, but I decided not to bet on the Arizona game. I didn't bet on Baylor, Michigan. I would have picked Baylor if I did. Michigan. Okay, Michigan. I did. Michigan was in the parlay, and Arkansas was on a separate single bet. And Creighton, yep. Creighton busted they were the last team my 16 parlay. Oregon and Creighton fucked it all up. But Oregon was the last team on my 16 parlay this year, and Oregon played in the home crowd. They didn't pull off another Creighton from last year. I remember that game. It was they missed free throws, and the Creighton tied game with a 3. That game was terrible. Yeah, I go to the printable bracket. Let's see. I guess Sunday I could be live for the NCAA tournament. I'll be live for Italy and Germany. I went with big money lines in a college basketball and added to a futures parlay. I did include Kentucky in that, and Kentucky didn't lose like they did with John GMG 254. Hell yeah, I'm doing great. I hit the 16 parlay in the first round of college basketball. It was insane. Last year, it seemed like every single favorite was winning during the first 2 rounds of the tournament. Like all the favorites were winning last year, and I knew this wasn't going to happen for 2 straight years. So what had to happen? You have to go with some underdog picks. Who were they? Creighton, I did. Xavier, okay, they were the favorite, but they beat Texas. I'm not including Xavier. I did a live bet on New Mexico because there's always one upset every single day in March Madness. You're not making no money on these big favorite. They're the 5-16 parlay where it's nothing but favorites. No. Man, you know how to do it, right, Kiana? Right? Yeah. Don't do the big 16 favorite parlay, right, Kiana? That's a big no-no. Even you know it's a big no-no, right, Kiana? Yeah, she knows. Kiana. No. Don't you know Kiana, right? She's begging you, don't do nothing but favorites. It's all fugazi. It's March Madness. Upsets are bound to happen. Jump up on my lap. I'm going to grab you and force you to jump on my lap. I'm not sitting on the couch yet. I am going to switch you back to your regular cat food you had before. Okay, it's no, but I'm going to get that. Now, let's talk about the Lakers. It's 30 minutes, and you're wondering, why are you talking about the Lakers? Okay, right now. But as my main point is that now the Lakers can afford goalkeeping LeBron some extra time to rest, and now we know that he has to be out for at least 8 games because it is Kobe number 8, and the Lakers' 8-game winning streak ended at Boston. So we know goalkeeping LeBron has to be out for at least 8 games. I'd be very surprised if he plays tomorrow. Did Memphis play today? Memphis is another team that we were monitoring their results because how the other teams are doing, and they lost against the Clippers. Okay, so they did lose. So Grizzlies and Nuggets lose, and Grizzlies have 28 losses. Lakers are ahead of the Grizzlies with Lakers have, I think, 13 games left. There's 82. They have played 69, right? Denver Nuggets, they have played 71 games, and they now have 27 losses. So this means that the Lakers can afford to rest goalkeeping LeBron an extra game or two because these two teams they have to finish against to avoid playing the Thunder in the second round, the Nuggets and the Grizzlies both lost. And these results are just so convenient because there's one guy that they directly benefit, goalkeeping LeBron James, because it gives him an extra game to rest. So he gets Saturday to rest, he gets Sunday to rest, and you're looking at Monday. And for the record, they can beat the Chicago Bulls without goalkeeping LeBron James and a Luka Doncic in the lineup. You can prepare and beat the Bulls without needing goalkeeping LeBron out there on the floor. Get Austin Reeves ready to go, and let's whip their ass. Because Austin Reeves is a superstar in my mind. Because he has surely gotten better every single season. He has the mentality, he has the right mentality to play for the purple and gold. Always looking to get better, never satisfied with just doing your job, but looking for ways to get much better. That's what I like about the guy. Every single Laker should carry out the mentality. First of all, goalkeeping LeBron because you don't get to become that excellent without expecting consistency and expecting a lot from yourself on a day-to-day, night-by-night, game-by-game basis. So if there's anything that was said about Luka in his conditioning and not taking it seriously, well, goalkeeping LeBron is the perfect model inspiration to follow for Luka if you do inevitably and someday win a championship without goalkeeping LeBron James. Or it could be championships with a plural S. Luka's going to do the business. You see, even when Luka beats Booker and Durant with goalkeeping LeBron, even when the Lakers win the back-to-back, even when the loser Phoenix Suns win the championship, without Kevin Durant, without goalkeeping LeBron, Luka is going to beat Devin Booker and the loser Phoenix Suns when we face off in the playoffs. Seems like Lakers always face off against loser Suns when they win the title. Well, 2009 wasn't the case. 2010, certainly we had Kobe revenge against loser Phoenix Suns. So, who does Denver play next? Who does Memphis play next? Memphis lost 3 straight games, so they are going to finish in the 4 or 5 position. Lakers play the Grizzlies next Saturday, and then the Grizzlies get the Celtics right after that. And Stephen Curry's injury, how is that going to affect Lakers Warriors? I don't know how serious the pelvis injury is to Stephen Curry, but it doesn't matter what Stephen Curry wants or what goalkeeping LeBron wants. NBA is going to do what is best for it from a business perspective. So with that being said, if it was possible for the Grizzlies to play the Warriors, and now the Grizzlies seem like they're outside the number 3 position, and the Grizzlies are stuck in the 4 versus 5, then it's safe to say that with 10 games left, the Lakers are going to finish number 3, because it doesn't matter if they're ahead of Denver. They have to play the Thunder 2 times in April. I had Lakers finishing at 3. Well, we'll see if the Lakers finish 2 or 3. But now, I believe that the Lakers swept the Clippers. And therefore, we're not going to see that matchup again in the playoffs. Stephen Curry, crybaby losers. Oh, we have like 110 in the last 12. We're beating the clear Jones. You know, these Warriors fans will start barking. But they ain't not there no more, are they? Because King LeBron ended the Golden State Warriors, as we know, in the second round of 2023, whipping their ass up 3-1, giving these guys a game and winning it at LA. The Warriors, as we know, have finished in 2023. It all makes sense that the pendulum is in balance, and that LeBron James wins 3 times, Stephen Curry wins 3 times, but the 2 times he won with Kevin Durant. And the one other time he won was when both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were injured. So I own Warrior fans. If they want to come out barking, let them come out and bark. Because they ain't got no nothing when they be losing in the first round. One playoff series win in 3 series since winning the title. And that's pretty easy. Because it's both teams. Conference semifinals, 1-1. Lose against the Lakers first round, 1-2. Since winning the title, James is 12. With the son, Bronny, Lakers beat the Warriors in the first round. We'll see what the regular season record is. Are they going to make this a 6-7 game series because King LeBron and Stephen Curry going to showcase the brilliance? I think if it's not rigged, Lakers win in 5 over the Warriors. However, if they want to squeeze extra game, if the league is dying because the ratings are bad, we'll win this in 6. We'll win this at 6. No ways it can end in 7. I've got Lakers at 5 over the Warriors. Nuggets and the Thunder are the bigger fish to fry. So these Warriors ain't no nothing. Gonna easily beat them. The only homework I have to do is to put together a playoff series record spreadsheet for Mr. Jimmy Butler. And then you'll have the entire picture ready to go. So could today's results impact the plan to bring King LeBron back? The next nationally televised game for the Lakers is Wednesday against the Pacers. Are we going to wait till Wednesday? Or is this going to be a happy return to the bubble at the city of Orlando for King LeBron to play the Magic? And of course, the Chicago Bulls is Michael Jordan's team. There always is that symbolism in between the Magic and the Pacers, you've got your trip to Chicago, and you've got your next game against Chicago. So, again, my vote is for him to return at Indiana, where his son is going to play in the Final Four next year with my Arizona Wildcats. That's my vote. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if it's a miscalculation. Is it rigged and predetermined which game is going to come back? I believe so. But again, I'm showing you all the possibilities, all the variables in play. A return to Orlando, decide the Final Four for Bronny, Michael Jordan's team. Every of these factors makes it sense. After today, you just can't see Goki LeBron coming back. They can afford him some more time for treatment. But my hypothesis, too, goes off of the fact that Goki LeBron would return 18 days after playing the 18-time champion Boston Celtics. So we shall find out. But it is next man up for this team. And this team is expected to win without Goki LeBron James. These guys with J.J. Redick have held themselves to a very high standard that we expect a lot from this basketball team. A lot of emphasis, the intensity, the tenacity. Now is the time. Now is the time. Let's see. Multi-future parlay did a lot of March Madness games, and none of these teams are losers. Florida Gators won, Connecticut won, one NIT, San Francisco Dons, St. John's won, Kentucky won. Okay, this one I did Liverpool against Everton, Real Madrid should win against Leganes, Bayern Munich against St. Pauli. Presumably all these three teams should win. But basically, I'm pretty high on Villa win the FA Cup. It's never automatic for Man City to win because, they're resting. And this can be the year that Man City don't win a trophy with all they look ordinary and they're facing a relegation penalty. Lakers over Celtics, exacta, Barcelona Champions League, Bilbao, Europa, Chelsea Conference League, Villa FA Cup. If these three Premier League teams, if these three soccer matches hit, turn $10 into 119 grand. The other one, combined March Madness with multi-future parlay, is I did one with Duke, but this is March Madness. There's a lot of competition. Duke is no automatic to win the title, by the way. Florida can make a statement. Auburn can make a statement. The SEC can make a statement. Houston can make a statement. So Duke is no automatic to win. Even though I'm going for Duke to win the title, I would not be surprised at all to see an Auburn or a Houston or a Florida win this March Madness NCAA tournament. Okay, this one here, I see I did Connecticut, Arkansas, underdog, Oregon, and Michigan. Then, same exact parlay for the futures. Lakers over Celtics, Barcelona Champions League, Chelsea the Conference League, Club Athletic Europa, Aston Villa FA Cup. Again, a lot of people are going to think it's easy for City to win the FA Cup, but Emiliano Martinez is a monster in penalty shootouts. And the year that City are relegated or penalty point deduction, they're going to win 0 trophies. That's how this soccer season should end in England. Looks like Sunday is going to be a all-day special. March Madness games. I'm going to be watching Italia, Germany, in the UEFA Nations League, and I have two TVs. So one game's going to be March Madness, the other is going to be Italia and Germany, the UEFA Nation League. So I hope to see Leo Cesare here. Leo Cesare here. I hope to see him for the Italia Germany. I'll be going live again on Sunday. I may not be available on Wednesday, sadly enough, but the playoffs will be here. It will be ready for it. Go to the Barn had a lot of rest right now. The Lakers are not in the play-in. So Go King the Barn is going to have even more rest than what he is having in the month of March. This is about managing the load for the grind for this year's deep playoff run, 2 Game 7s. Number 2, this is about managing the grind for one last spectacular victorious season, to win 6 rings in 23 years, to finish the job, to finish the back-to-back, to be unbeaten in the playoffs since turning 40 years of age. The legend of Goking Bon James retire 2 consecutive championships. Retire so the masses can wonder how many more rings can he win until he's 45 or 50 years of age. Goking Bon James will make the same mistake as Tom Brady. Tom Brady showed he was collapsing. He wasn't going to win no more. Goking Bon, after winning the back-to-back, he must retire. Retire on top and leave it. He don't repeat the same mistake Tom Brady made. He failed to win these next 2 years. He was getting old. He was breaking down. But Goking Bon, don't make that same mistake. Win back-to-back, retire. I could usually win more, but I chose to stop right here because I'm the GOAT, not the king. And I'm going to leave this up to the fans to interpret how many more rings I could have won if I really wanted to play till I'm 45 or 50. I just got bored winning and kicking the ass of these young guns, these 25, 20-year-old bums. I'm tired of bullying these young guns. I'm going to move on to business and racking the billions of dollars. That's what Goking the Bon has planned post-retirement. Good night. And we don't need Goking the Bon to be back tomorrow. The Lakers are a smart organization. They know. Rest Austin Reeves. Rest Luka. Rest Goking the Bon. Remember, when Anthony Davis was there, they were not a fan of playing on Anthony Davis on back-to-backs. This is a very smart training staff, a medical group, a smart training staff on the Lakers. In the one night that they do wave the white flag to sit everybody, they did their due diligence. They gave the reason for the fans to show up and pay for the tickets to see Bronny James have a big game. So that went hand in hand. Well, why do I have to watch them play if there's no Luka, there's no Goking the Bon, there's no Austin Reeves, like our entire big 3 is out. But hey, we can see Goking the Bon's son play an entire game, and he played very, very, very well. The plus minus, though, that the lineup was just weakened around Bronny James. When do my Arizona Wildcats play? Now I'm more of a fan. Hallelujah! My Lord! Oh, God Almighty! My favorite college basketball team, you Lord God, King of the universe, Lord God Almighty, decide to bestow unto me Bryce Maximus Jones. Mamma mia! Now there's a curse like the Lusa Phoenix Suns, and then my repeat for the Lakers. But now his son is playing for the U of Arizona. Why did he choose Arizona? I got one answer. Christian Coloco, Arizona Lakers bench. This guy talked him into Arizona. Christian Coloco was undrafted out of Arizona, plays on the Lakers. This guy must have said something to King LeBron to convince Bryce James to move to Tucson. Christian Coloco played for Arizona. There's one guy that taught them into it. It must have been him. Maybe Luke Walton. Luke Walton played with Arizona too. He could have been a factor into this as well. There's a cold day in hell in the desert. Arizona Wildcats into the freaking Final Four, baby. Let's go King LeBron attain the Final Four. The league scheduled Indiana in late March. How we know this is the fix? The number one hypothesis. If the NBA schedules the Lakers to play the Pacers in late March, early April, if they schedule the Lakers to travel to Indianapolis to play the Pacers in late March, early April, or even Chicago, or even Milwaukee, that's how you know it has already been decided. Go King LeBron lovers, go King LeBron haters, rooting against Arizona, rooting against Bryce Maximus James. Do re mi, says CBS and NCAA and the NCAA mafia president. Because these guys are about the money. They want more and more money for the NCAA. That's how this bureaucracy functions. So forget about Final Four for Arizona. I hope they lose against Duke. There's nothing to sweat for being an Arizona Wildcats basketball fan, because we making the Final Four with Bryce Maximus James. Okay? It's a done deal. We in the Final Four. Go King LeBron wins the back-to-back. Messi wins the World Cup. Next year's going to be bomb. Christmas is going to be amazing. Hallelujah. Messi wins the MLS Cup. Who cares if the Bengals don't win the Super Bowl? I mean, who cares if they don't win? Like, yeah, I like the symbolism for the Ravens and the Bengals. I'm not going to completely discount the Ravens, but I am in love with the Bengals. You'll have to continue to pay attention to that NFL. Okay. Let me leave. I kind of gave you my synopsis for the basketball games this week, but let me just leave and determine some final calculations. And it's funny because I hardly watch any college basketball this year. I watch soccer, I watch NFL, I watch NBA, but you could tell this guy knows college basketball, even when he doesn't watch the games in the regular season. But he knows Rick Pitino, he knows John Calipari, he knows how Michigan are doing their record in close games. Doing your job, doing your research, and there's some good analysis too. UConn, what did they do? They didn't foul against Oklahoma. They knew they were in the penalty, but they didn't foul. They were smart about it. They were swarming the three-point line. Some things I like from these teams out there. UConn handled a close game very well, but Florida are on a whole other level. Or UConn's defense make it a close game? Or is Florida going to go on deep scoring runs? Man, they're making Florida a 9.5-point favorite. Damn. Is it going to be 90 to 70? The Lakers ain't knowing nothing what they've been doing. And now Hachimura, Austin Reeves, this team know what they've been doing. Jameson from the Lusa Phoenix Suns. Loser Sons and Jameson, you blow out the Lakers. Gabe Vincent, hard work, determination, unproven, kind of guy you want on this team. Same thing with Austin Reeves. This team know how to make moves. But it's other stupid shit like offering Dan Hurley. What did they offer him? 7-year contract to coach the Lakers? Thank God this guy ain't coaching the Lakers. You know, stuff like that, you know, is just stupid, is reactionary. But Goalkeeper LeBron is not, he didn't choose a puppet to coach this team. He chose a guy who closely mirrors the basketball IQ of himself. Because that offers a similar perspective in reading of the game. The chemistry works when you see eye to eye. Great minds think a lot. Mind the podcast, or mind, it's not Mind the Gap. What was the name of the Goat King, the Bond Luca podcast? I may need to rewatch it before the actual big show. As Magic says, showtime, the NBA playoffs begin. Goalkeeper LeBron's just not going around ordering JJ Redick what to do. Goalkeeper LeBron wants a competent coach who can see the game the way that he sees it. That's why he wanted JJ Redick. He can be the coach. He can coach the team the way he wants to, but he reads the game similarly to how Goalkeeper LeBron reads the game. That's why these two have that podcast together. It's not like he's going around ordering JJ Redick what to do. That's the furthest thing from the truth. He's just not some puppet who's not going to be hard on us and we're struggling to be 500. No, that's all horse crap. Lakers hired a real coach who knows what the fucking hell he's doing. He had Hachimura banging Jokic. He had other guys banging Jokic, making it frustrating for him, not able to catch the basketball. He knows what he's doing. That's the difference between him and Darvin Ham. And again, I like Darvin Ham. He's a great guy, but he was too big for the job. He was great to have a drink at a bar, but he's not who you need to win the championship. And I like Darvin Ham a lot. But clearly, this worked out for the better for the Lakers. And thank goodness, too. All these hating bums were saying, Lakers going to be on the playoffs. They're going to be a bubble team, blah, 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 blah. Where are these people at right now? Even without Luka, Lakers were winning 8 out of 10 games with Anthony Davis. The rest of the roster was up for the job. And then Luka was just a bonus. And in today's NBA, you don't need a great center to win. But Hachimura is big enough. Maxi Kleber's a center. They knew in case they needed size, if they're getting out-rebounded by the Nuggets or the Celtics, the Thunder are squabs. This team is small. They are not big. They can't rebound. But a team with Aaron Gordon and Jokic, and a team like the Celtics and Al Horford who can rebound and fight for rebounds. I like the moves for Kuroko and Alex Len and Maxi Kleber, and we still have Christian Wood. And Goat King LeBron and Luka are built like power forwards. They are big enough. June 1, Game 7, Western Conference Finals. I'll be ready for that. The Magical Bomb, the Star Championship. The Lakers are bound to be 3-3 in the playoff series, win the Western Conference, win the Larry O'Brien Trophy is on the line. Thou shall be thy case. First round and second round are going to be breezes. Conference finals and the finals is going to be suspenseful, legendary moments of pure legendary greatness. The genius acumen of GOAT, LeBron James, going to defeat the Thunder. I don't think Michael Jordan is an artist, but GOAT LeBron is an artist. This guy is just art. You don't need a score to win. He's going to make the right basketball play to win. He knows the weakness. He's going to put his teammate in the position. He trusts his teammate to score. I don't think Michael Jordan can trust his teammates the way GOAT LeBron trusts his teammates. Michael's a great scorer. He's great, and he does well when he's in foul trouble, not having a good night shooting, setting screens and playing defense and finding other ways to win. But with GOAT LeBron having the ball in his hands, he knows how to beat you when he's not scoring. This is what makes him an artist and a genius. And combine that with Luka. Mamma mia. Luka chasing the ghost of GOAT King LeBron James. Just another chapter in this association. He is chasing the ghost of GOAT King LeBron James. He truly is chasing the ghost of GOAT King LeBron. I believe that. I believe he will conquer. He will conquer. I believe in GOAT King LeBron. He's the greatest player who has ever set foot in the world. No player can compare to GOAT King LeBron James. The college basketball games for tomorrow. I'm glad Arizona's the last game on Sunday. This game, I just torn between Oregon and Arizona. I'm a Wildcats basketball fan, but it won't surprise me to see Oregon beat them. I hope we beat them, but there's nothing to be upset about because Bryce James is going to lead the team to Final Four next year. I already know we're not winning no nothing. No regional conference, no regional title, no nothing. Oops. Yeah, my desk lost a wheel when I was moving this thing out of my apartment. Yeah, I should have picked up the wheel. Bad mistake. The wheel fell off. Yep. Okay. Good. When I'm talking very loud and showcasing my passion for the LA Lakers and GOAT King LeBron and the NBA and basketball in general, yep, I scare Kiana away. She goes upstairs. She can't handle the boisterous nature of my streams. So I did scare the cat. We did have her on here. I don't have timestamps for this one. Again, I got to work on the timestamps, but it scares her away, and the noise is too much. What's she gonna do about that? Italians are loud and like to make noise. Oh, you have Lakeitis? You see the craziness happen with this team for the last 5 motherfucking freaking ass years? You're gonna go cray-cray. All we heard was nothing but bullshit from GOAT King LeBron hitting bombs. These losers are where we want them to be at. Hurting with Donald Trump's tariffs, and they don't have the Lakers to win the title. You make some coin on the Lakers, you're much better off than someone under Donald Trump's economy. Again, seeing the joy of the Lakers win the title, and you're much better off than someone else hurting under Donald Trump and the billionaires' economy. A good way to prepare for high prices is to bet on the Lakers to win. You have a much better summer than someone else. Someone's going literally through hell without this very useful investment. So I am prepared for high prices coming into this economy. And seeing this championship happen for the Lakers, a very, very golden title, as the billionaires are about to make gold on the American economy. This is only Friday, but it feels like an entire week has gone with all these basketball games. So Duke just only men's ACC team to move on to the round of 32. This is from Sports Center. Jeff Folger says basketball belongs to SEC now, and I had a laughing emoji, 58 laughing emojis, 25 likes, 4 hearts, but I responded only until it wins a national title. You see, no one remembers who loses. If the SEC truly wants to be the best conference in college basketball, you have to win the national title. Otherwise, we'll just be talking, you haven't won the national title. SEC, by random probability, has a pretty good chance of winning. Because if Florida and Auburn make it on the one side of that bracket, and you have the Duke in the Houston on the other side, then by probability, Duke avoids the SEC, Houston avoids the SEC. Probability, SEC gonna have a chance to win this title. Now, who won the regular season SEC title? Auburn did. Imagine Auburn, Florida for the Final Four. You see, I put St. John's in the Final Four. I don't know if I can truly bet St. John's against Florida. I'm biased for Rick Pitino, New York City, St. John's. And Donald Trump is from New York City, so maybe we have some big upset. If there's an upset, St. John's to win their region. You see, this college basketball is more interesting than the NBA playoffs because you already know, like the Celtics, Cavs, Thunder, Final Four. The sheep retard zombie thinks, Thunder have an organic chance of winning the West. The Cavs have an organic chance of winning the East. They think it's happening by nature, by organically. But this is all happening by man, by the owners and the commissioner who predetermined their winner. Just like they predetermined that Krzyzewski was going to play his final game against North Carolina. There are years where there are no blue bloods in the national championship. You're Arizona, you're Connecticut, you're Kansas, you're Duke, you're North Carolina, you're Kentucky, you're UCLA. Let's include Villanova into that group when you have a Baylor and Gonzaga. That's what makes March Madness March Madness. I agree with you, but the people, a lot of people are going to bet on the Cavs Thunder for the conference finals. This is what makes the betting for the playoff betting more profitable. You can bet on Cavs Thunder, you can bet on Lakers Celtics. It was funny, though, when Carmelo went to the Thunders, Zach Hubbard was predicting Cavs against Thunder. But 8 years later, this becomes an interesting scenario. But it ain't going to happen because we already know Kobe Bean, Bryant Beantown, right? We know how to dumb it down and make it simple, but other people don't want to make it simple. They want to make it more harder than it has to be. Kobe Bean, Bryant Beantown, that's the giveaway. Goat King the Bonds rivalry against the Celtics, the Illuminati, the occult, and the occultic six, and the 6 consecutive wins in the playoffs against the Celtics. Goat King the Bond beat the Celtics all these times in the East. He's got to beat them as a member of the Lakers. And when you're a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, and you like seeing the Celtics win all the time, you're a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, you're rooting for the Lakers and go King LeBron James. The Cleveland fans are rooting for Goat King LeBron James to beat these pesky-ass Celtics who beat your Cavs for 2 straight years. Cavs fans are on Lincoln Nation side, baby. That's how it should be. As the Mandalorians say, that is the way. Cavs fans want to see Lakers beat the Celtics. Lakers Cavs is gay. Goat King the Bond must not be afforded the opportunity to have to face off against his former team for the championship. That's what makes it easy for myself. After this losing streak by the Fagaliers and the Bucks and the Knicks are 2 joke teams this year, there's no real number 3 team. Celtics gonna beat these Cavs in 6 games. How many games do you guys have for the Cavs and the Celtics? I've got Celtics in 6. And we are all keeping our eyes on Game 7 between the Lakers and the Thunder. NBA just being so predictable. It is so predictable. UEFA Nations League. Where are we? Hey, France lost 2-0. They're better odds than Italia. What job it's smoking? How do they lose against Germany? What the hell are they doing? My God. How they scored the first goal? They fucking should have scored against Germany. God, this team sucks. Forza Missouri. I'll need my pizza. I am interested in my college basketball, but from 12:45 to 2:45, Italia, Germany, the Nation League. I just like how the Lakers are 17-1 championship exact over the Celtics, and they have 17 titles. It's like wow. Why not add a simple money line, easy wager on, obviously UConn has 0. Michigan's an underdog. I'm going to take Michigan. Their record in 1 possession games. I got to go Michigan. They're prepared for this Texas A&M. I got to go see the box score for the Texas A&M Auburn game to see how close they were to losing. I like Michigan. Their record in 1 score games. How close was Texas A&M trailing against? They played Yale. Okay. Yeah, they struggled against Yale, Michigan as an underdog. You can't go wrong with Michigan. That's one man's opinion. That's my opinion. But again, this is what we are looking at. The Arkansas St. John's game. Damn, these guys know each other. Are they really going to win by 8 points against John Calipari? I just we are down for a dramatic game. I wish I could narrow this to New Mexico. I would take New Mexico on the spread. Illinois, Tennessee, or Kentucky, Tennessee. I think all hail the SEC. Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m. Damn. You don't bet the future on the Europa League, but you can bet on the teams that qualify. So that's what I'll do for this multi game futures parlay. That's good enough for me. I do a long shot with the tie to win the Nations League. It may not happen, but do one just without the FA Cup and do one without the Europa League. Yeah. I cannot wait until March Madness Part 2. I need a name for April, May for the NBA. There's got to be a good marketing name for the NBA playoffs. We all get that giant feeling that he's going to win the title. I can't wait to see him win the title. the Memphis Grizzlies are doing bad, then are they going to still win their playoff series? That's what I'm thinking about too. Looks like Jay Moran's going to show up Dylan Brooks. I get that feeling that's going to happen between obviously the Grizzlies and the Rockets, because got to see the Lakers and the Nuggets in the number 2 and the number 3 positions. As they say, sit back and enjoy the games and enjoy the suspense. When they're losing the playoff series, I'll sit back and I'll gladly sit back and calmly enjoy. And behind the wall where this couch is at, I want to see a banner. I want to see a flag. Lakers NBA champions 2024, 2025. I wonder if there's a Lakers flag for the bubble cut. I want Lakers flag all over the place. Everything is lacking suspense until they play the Thunder and the Celtics. Then they got to come back from elimination. Luka Magic, go King Von Magic, whatever you call it. They got to conquer the world to beat the Thunder and the Celtics. That game against the Celtics was a foreshadowing that they got to overcome a beastly team. You lose by 22 at Boston, you lose game 1 at Boston, you must win game 2. Don't go for game 1. I'll be here for game 1. I'll be here for game 2. I'll be here for all of them. All eyes on the prize. Game 7. Thunder. Celtics. The greatest show ever in the world! Dun! Ready for the... There's a pumped up with the... All these ass clowns who gave up on this team a year ago, 2 years ago. Screw you bums. Whine and cry until this team got cooked. I was picking this team all damn season long. Any points from Want to eat ballsy? Want to go championship exact all the way? Never mind Lakers to win by itself? And I would recommend against this strategy to keep your calms good for the conference finals of the East. But you already know who the teams are going to be playing against in the Final Four and in the championship round of basketball. Like, I just cannot see a world where the Dodgers win two straight titles in the Lakers, like two straight titles. Now, too many titles that cannot go to one city. New York Knicks were orange. New York Mets were orange. I think there's two teams outside the NHL, uh, outside the NFL that are going to be winning. JD Vance got the Ohio connection to the Bengals. We get all that. But the New York Mets, with Juan Soto, many people are going to think that no baseball team can beat the Dodgers next year. And again, Major League Baseball has got to, it's got to keep that art that you can be hot anytime. That baseball to be that kind of game that people love must not be on the same level as the NBA that Otani is an automatic assumption to win. So even though the Dodgers won last year, they're not going to give them two straight championships. The Mets may be the underdog, but the Mets get a starting pitcher at the trade deadline in July. The Mets do acquire a starting pitcher. So I am predicting the Mets to get a starting pitcher to add some extra steel, if you will, pitching-wise, to foster a run. This owner of the Mets is a betting man in the hedge fund markets, and he's going to make a big bet on the starting pitcher to bring to this team at the July trade deadline. We'll find out if the fix is in at that time. We will surely find out if the fix is in. International UEFA Nations League. See, I'm a diehard Italia Azzurri fan. America got knocked out of the CONCACAF UEFA Nations League, which is completely inexcusable. McKennie and Pulisic, what the hell are they doing? Mauricio Pochettino, well, this guy's a trophy dodger. Remember, he managed Tottenham. So he's a trophy dodger. See, United States has no chance of winning the World Cup. Can they make it to a semifinal? I got to see what the bracket is for the World Cup. But to forget about it, we are not going to win. We are not going to win the World Cup. We have no chance with Pochettino. We have no chance with Pulisic's injuries, and we have no chance with this weak, mentally fragile American team. I'm not going to overrate our team because we have athleticism. It doesn't win at the end of the day. Good, great talented teams have to manage egos. I don't know much about Texas A&M for the record in the college basketball, but Michigan are used to these close games in under 2 minutes. This is a factor that must not be underrated. Where are you, Florida? I got to go to 9 o'clock. Tennessee are going to beat UCLA. Arkansas and St. John's. I would take Arkansas on the spread and St. John's on the money line. Where's Florida and Connecticut? Sunday a.m. Didn't we always Chicago have a big upset in March Madness? I guess it's not an automatic game against San Francisco. Fuck it, I'll go St. John's. We'll see how St. John's does, but I understand the risk of taking St. John's on the money line. I understand. I do not take Arkansas's chances very lightly. Nobody has all the answers at the end of the day. This is what it comes down to. This is just the nature of sports betting. Nothing could be automatic, although I kind of disagree with that because Argentina to win the World Cup in 2022 was just simply, it was bound to happen. Styles Horn, I agree. 6 games. Now, this is an interesting parlay. Celtics to 1-6, and the Celtics and the Cavs fans are watching who wins between the Thunder and the Lakers. All eyes glued to Game 7. Lakers and Thunder in the East has already been decided. I agree with that. Calipari and Patino are not close, but they share a great rivalry. So this made it to the ESPN headlines, and this was the key to predicting Arkansas over Kansas. If you guys didn't know about it, well, I did release a bracket. Now, the bracket of North Carolina beating Ole Miss, which they lost, but I did have Creighton. I did have the next upset, Creighton to win, and what was the other upset again? Well, UConn was easy. Kentucky was easy, for obvious reasons. Arkansas, I had. I was just thinking SEC, Kansas, inconsistent. They lost to Arizona in the NCAA tournament, in the Big 12 tournament, I should say. Man, I wish I was a college basketball player. I could go on vacation, Big 12 tournament, and then, I get to fly somewhere else for NCAA tournament, man. It'd be pretty dope to be a college basketball player. I wish I was tall enough and good enough, but too bad. Not everyone has the genes to be an athlete. Maybe you just have to be an athlete as far as predicting championships. Am I so lucky that I don't drink during the weekdays? Damn. I don't know if I should wear Buffon or case for the UEFA Nations League. Adolf Hitler helped one of his biggest donors sell a car in 1938, and now Elon Musk is violating the Hatch Act by trying to sell his car in front of the White House. Just, what a disgrace. Every one other person you encounter is a fucking moron. I swear to God. People were smarter 30 years ago without technology. Technology should make us more smart when we have readily available information, the spread of information on Google. But it's the inverse that is happening. It's making us dumber than ever. Why do we vote for a major political party that wants to give tax breaks to billionaires? It wants to cut Medicare and Medicaid that directly benefits these red states. These red states that rely on FEMA because most natural disasters happen in red states. Look at Oklahoma right now. These freaking red staters, man, these people are being affected by Donald Trump saying that we must get rid of FEMA and you, the states, must be reliant on handling these affairs by yourself without crying for the feds' help. I just remember when the national gridlock for Texas collapsed and people were freezing in Texas in 2021. Biden came to help these people. See, the Democrats know the importance of FEMA. Now Donald Trump wants to end FEMA in states like Oklahoma and Florida who would get impacted by hurricanes and whatnot or no longer have help from the feds. Voting against their best interest. Joe Biden did that. I did that. Donald Trump did that. Donald Trump did that. Please, can we have AOC majored in international relations? And Donald Trump is going to damage all of our diplomatic relations with our allies like Canada and Mexico in our sphere of the hemisphere out in the West. God, it really has been 10 years since this fucking fat load. This guy is a parasite. This guy should have never got into politics. I would have been happy with Mitt Romney, for God's sakes. This Donald Trump guy is heavily divisive. He only serves the Kremlin. They're wasting taxpayer dollars, going after people, working, contributing the taxes. This grand, massive deportation agenda is not about public safety. You must go after only criminals for this to be about public safety. But it's not about public safety. Elon Musk flashed his Nazi sign on Inauguration Day. This is a de-browning America agenda. I don't know how the blacks feel about the Hispanics, but certainly these corporatists wearing suits are not their friends. These people coming to America are looking to run a business and go to work without hurting anybody else. Donald Trump and his administration are not going after only criminals. We should be going after the criminals. Both sides agree with that. But we should be going after anybody, anywhere, anytime. People who don't pose a threat to public safety. We are wasting resources when we do just that. It really isn't about preventing crime when the Republican Party is going after people who have no criminal record. So it isn't about public safety, is it? It's about de-browning America. This is a Nazi agenda. Elon Musk he flashed his Nazi symbol. Okay, nobody said they were against getting rid of the people selling the fentanyl over the border. We want to eradicate these people. Even the left wing agrees with that. But it's just simply inefficient use of resources when we go after hardworking, law-abiding people. And these resources used to support these people could have been going towards deporting criminals. That is what I have an issue with. There could be some criminal out there committing crime because Donald Trump is going after anybody, anywhere, anytime, despite if they are law-abiding or not. This is my issue. They go after someone with a criminal record. There's somebody out abroad committing crime. Because Donald Trump is not looking specifically for criminals. This was the Obama deportation agenda, is to go after the violent criminals. You see, Obama was tough on immigration. He was the master deporter in chief when he was in office. Democrats are not this lawless party. They're coming over the border. Barack Obama's admitted. In fact, Holman, the immigration czar, was hired by Obama. He was hired by Obama. But the main difference now, they're not going after violent people. They're going after any person, even if they're close to applying to become a permanent resident. These people is who Holman in the Donald Trump administration is going after. So I hope you learned something from me, that the mainstream media is simply useless. Mainstream media wants to continue to divide and conquer the American masses. When you have these people married to illegals and their undocumented spouse gets deported and they voted for Trump, they reap what they sow. When you're a federal worker and you thought Donald Trump was going to go after the brown people, but you instead lost your job because of the federal layoffs, fuck around, find out. I tried telling you this is what would happen under Donald Trump. If you're a white person and you had a federal job, these brown people didn't do that to you. Donald Trump and Elon Musk and the billionaires did that to you. So know who your priority should be against. Again, I tend to have no sympathy for people who voted for Donald Trump, but I will only have sympathy for you if you realize you're in your mistake. You realize you must push back against these spineless, weak, weasel establishment Democrats like Chuck Schumer who want to just bend and fold and allow fascism and oligarchy to happen. And these freaking ass people are not fighting to stop Donald Trump's bill that strips millions of Americans from their health care and from SNAP and all that. Chuck Schumer thought it was okay. But they're still going to ignore the courts. They're still going to ignore you, Chuck. Oh, give me a freaking break. You're a millionaire too. You benefit from this new regime. Who are you kidding, Chuck Schumer? Who the hell are you kidding? You see, it's not just Republican congressmen that are going back to angry constituents. It is Democrats that are going to go back to angry people who are like, why aren't you fighting to stop this one-sided billionaire Republican budget resolution? So you have angry people mad at the Dems because Chuck Schumer folded. You have people angry at the Republicans that they're allowing the unelected billionaire oligarch to run the government. Don't just poison your brain with NBA and March Madness. You can still be well informed on NBA and March Madness and then at the same time know what the fucking hell is happening in your goddamn government. This government is working for billionaires and oligarchs. It's not working for the people. If the Republicans want to ignore their own constituents, Democrats are going to go through these town halls. But we must push back against Democratic establishment too. I know Zach Copper's low-income base. They vote against their best interest. They vote Republican. And Zach Copper tells his same fans that they're voting against their best interest because Zach Copper's a liberal. That's why he looks down on his own supporters, because he knows they're voting against their best interest and they're voting Republican. I wonder why he looks down on his own support. He knows they're voting against their best interests. I know Zach looks down on his Republican supporters. I know he thinks of his supporters as low and dumb and dirt. Donald Trump does. It's the same agenda. Build a big empire, have multiple houses, con these. Zach Hubbard's no different than a religious evangelicist. He's no different than them. I could be asking for money every freaking day of the fucking week. But that's not my agenda. People like their cult leaders over a dedicated person to the work. And quite frankly, it has been near a decade that I've devoted my life to gematria in this work. And I know, as a matter of fact, that people would cry and they would mourn. It would be a funeral if I ever stopped doing this work. If I one day stopped doing this work, it would be a big mourning period for many, many people who follow the channel. They're not people looking for a quick buck. They're not opportunistic people. They're people looking for a voice and for guidance in this world, in this matrix, this paradigm that we live in. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I try to make money from the work I do. Who isn't? Right? But at the end of the day, you're awake. You know what you're happening. It's not real. And that's what it counts. They're opportunistic, greedy people that pop around in my channel, in my life. They don't give a fuck about Camacho. They give a fuck about us making money. These people are parasites. Who gives a fuck about them, right? How many people can stay dedicated to Camacho for near a decade without profiting from the work? You have to answer that question. You have to answer that question. You can't find them is the answer. You can't find them. They didn't try to. Take Dayton over Chattanooga. We'll find out. We'll find out. Good night, my friends. I'll be here on Sunday. We'll have a closer look at the tournament. Good night to everybody out there. Good night. Salute to the people. Again, the FA Cup, Emiliano Martinez, Unai Emery, Rashford, Asensio, Real Madrid, Rashford, Man United. Another Italian manager to win a European trophy with Chelsea, Barcelona, and Yamal. It's too much. Yamal's the real deal. The former Bayern manager and striker can win the Champions League at their former stadium. So there's May and June, you see, can be a very opportunistic time to see these progressions work. No France in the Nations League. Italia have to advance. I'm going to ask the question: do you like to see Gianluigi Buffon's trophy with his jersey? Would you like to see Federico Chiesa? But if we won the World Cup at Germany in 2006, I must wear Gianluigi Buffon for Sunday. Ciao, ragazzi. Sunday, I'll be here for the whole day.